Today I'm going to show you how to get the best sound out of your FRFR solution. I think many of you people who are playing for floor monitors, you like to use these things, and floor modeling units, I mean, you like to use these things to together with some FRFR speakers. Like me, I'm using the RCF 310s, but many people, especially the people who are used to conventional 4x12 cabinet in the room sound, seem to have or seem to struggle sometimes with the sound that's coming out of these FRFR solutions. And I said many times before, the reason for that is they're quite different from the 4x12 speakers. 4x12 guitar speaker, it's more or less a giant filter which is cutting the low end and also the highs. There's not that much happening above maybe 5K and below 100 Hertz. As these things here, they're addressing a wider range because they're supposed to give every frequency flat that goes in. And that means they're sometimes harsh in the presence frequencies, or they have a boomy low end. Anyway, I will show you what you can do that they sound more like your 4x12 cabinet, and also even better in my opinion. So I'm using the Moog 300 now, but that is not that important. It applies to all other units too. I will reduce the volume a little bit because I think it's terribly loud here. And so this is my guitar tone. And in the Moog 300, I'm setting basically everything at 12 o'clock using the VHS channel 4 model, as it is called here, together with a own Hammer Mesa Diesel V30 cabinet. And I have to say it sounds quite nice. So let's stay with that. And the thing with these FRFR monitors is they're all sounding different from each other. I tried out many different brands, and for example the head rushes, the RCF, the what else, JBL, the Behringer, but it was always the case that you had to, or I had to adjust my guitar tone to the monitors. The RCF 310s, in this case, the 10 stands for 10-inch speakers. They sound best, at least with my guitar tones and in my opinion. So with these I have to tweak only very few things that it sounds great. But with other speakers it was more work, more tweaking was needed. I will show you that in a second with another speaker. I have another one here, the Behringer. Another thing is you have to consider the size of these things. So you can say the bigger the speaker, the bigger the more low end you get. And also if you put the speakers on the floor like I do now, you get more low end response. That is also the case with the 4x12 cabinets, but that you have to keep in mind that. So yeah, if you are planning to use your monitors on the floor, then you should adjust your sound to that situation. It's different if you put them on stands. Different sound. You can try that out. Anyway, so what did I do here? Basically, the 4x12 cabinet in the room, which is delivering maybe the desired guitar tone for many people, is cutting off the highs and the lows. So maybe the highs above 5K, the lows below maybe 100 Hertz. So that would be one thing which I would do. I would set high and low cuts first. But usually, and I can show you that, I'm doing this not in the mower. Instead, I'm doing that in this thing here, which is the Behringer digital console. The reason why I don't do it in the mower, of course I could do it with the global EQ, but usually if you have to adjust many things, this will not work with all the speakers. And if you're playing through a big front of house system of good quality, you don't need to adjust that much, because it's quite a different thing than using just one monitor. So here I can show you what I did to adjust these monitors. At least here you can see the EQ. I hope you can see it, but I will tell you what I do. It's basically here you can see the EQ. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. I'm cutting off the lows at 120 Hertz, I think. Oh no, at 64 Hertz, the low cut. And I'm reducing the lows around 120 dB a little bit, 120 Hertz a little bit, but only about 1 dB with a Q of 2. And also I'm reducing the highs, but it's not that drastically. It's the highs around, maybe 10K or 11K in this case. But I'm applying usually a low cut in the mower at around the 50 Hertz, because usually you don't need these frequencies below that. So as I said, I don't do that much here. And also in the global output of the Behringer, I don't do that much. I'm applying a low cut here for the whole thing, because this preset is designed to be used for my samples, which I'm using from the loop station. And here you can see it has the high cut at 8K. So that is something which I do with the RCFs in general. And just for the guitars, it's this EQ. This EQ. You can see I don't have to adjust many things. And it can be different for other speakers. And as I said, these RCFs, they sound, in my opinion, they sound great. They are great for high gain tones. Another thing is, for example, if I'm using the Behringer here, I don't know if you can see it, it's a 12-inch monitor, Class D power amp. And here, for example, with the same tone of the mower, I'm using quite more equalization, as you can see here. I hope you can see it at least. And the thing is, this system, the Behringer 212, I think it is called, there is a hole in between the frequencies, in between the 12-inch speaker and the horn. And that is in a significant, at least for guitars, in a significant position. And it's very big, this hole. As with the RCFs, you don't find that much of a hole in between the 10-inch speaker and the horn. But here you have it, and it's around 2K. So what I'm doing here is I'm raising the 2K quite a lot. So about 4.5 dB with a Q of 8. That is this bump here. That's compensating the whole of which is there, which the speaker has, which is just this speaker has. Maybe other 12-inch speakers have it too, I don't know, but yeah. And also, I've set the low cut higher here at around 112 dB. And to compensate that, I'm pushing the lows about 100 dB a little bit here. Not a little bit, it's quite a lot, the 5.5 dB. But with a more or less narrow Q, that is a trick to fatten up the tone if you're cutting very much of the bass frequencies. So that helps with this speaker. So I will show you the difference now. Hope you can hear it. I'm playing without the EQ, and then with the EQ. just through the Behringer. So let me turn on these things, the RCFs, turn off the RCFs, turn on the Behringer. And without the EQ, maybe it's too much low end now for the camera, so let me reduce the lows a little bit more here. Where is it? Without the EQ, so you can hear maybe the difference in the 2K region, where usually the punch of the guitar is. So that is one advice I would give to you with this video. You have to adjust your tone to the FRFR solution you're using. If you are using maybe a line array or a big system which is professional, very expensive, you don't have to adjust that much. Then it will sound fine. But with these, if you're using one or two wedges, you almost always have to adjust your tone to the wedges you're using. Especially the ones here, the cheaper ones, which seem to have holes somewhere in the frequency spectrum. So yeah, I can recommend to really listen closely and then yeah, use an EQ, maybe like I do here with the Behringer, just for your monitor sound. Don't use it to send it to the front of the house, because that would be a total different story. But yeah, for your monitor, you can do it. And yeah, also keep an eye on the highs and the lows. I'm checking out now the high and low cut settings in the mower, and there's around 50 dB, 50 hertz the low cut, and the high cut is around 9K. So it's there, but it's not affecting the sound that much. But yeah, the other things, you saw it. And finally, I can show you the difference between these two systems, the RCF and the Behringer. So this is the sound through the Behringer. And this is the RCF. So the RCF has nicer highs, I think, as the Behringer has more power and more punch. And I think I can make them sound quite similar if I want to, but I'm quite happy with both of these. So yeah, that is my advice. And yeah, these frequencies, by the way, around the 2K, they're always the hole, if there is a hole in between the horns and the 10-inch or 12-inch speaker, it might be around that location, maybe in between 1.6 2K and 3K somewhere. You can start maybe with 2K or 2.5K as a center and then move it around a little bit. The other things, of course, bass frequencies, use the low cut, or if you don't want to be that drastic, you can also use a shelf filter. I hope this helps you. If I could explain it so that you could understand it. Otherwise, please post your questions in the comment section below and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.